No longer alone with my homegirl Terez on the microphone. Music politics are just chatting it up. Brunch in the basement, see that's what's up. You never know who might run through. Legendary artist or someone brand new. You miss a lot when you miss one day. At least that's what I heard somebody say. But it doesn't really matter what whoever says. It's always a good show with JaVonne Terez. Yeah. Brunch in the basement with JaVonne Terez. Yeah. Who we got today or what we doing today or whatever it is, it's gonna be good. Woo!
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
Seems like I
Seems
might
like
have
I might have
a little bit of
bit
an
of
echo. I'm
echo.
gonna work that
Work
out.
that out.
And
And
in the meanwhile,
in the
play a
meanwhile,
little music.
music.
know. I've been hurt so many times. It got to a point when I decided I can't do this anymore. I need someone to hold me. I need someone that needs me. I need someone that loves me. Can you be my Superman? Can you be my Superman? Will you be my Superman? Will you be my Superman? All the little things, that excite me. As your woman, give me a kiss goodnight. Over the phone, working late. When you're out of town, tell me how much you need it. We deserve it. We can be together. Can you be my Superman? Can you be my Superman? Can you be my Can you be my Superman? Superman. When I think of you, you make me smile, and I can't help but hope that this
Again. Oh, she's gone. She's back. Back. this. What we got going on here today? Huh? Boop, 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 boop. Morning. And she's back. She's gone. How's everybody this morning? Happy Saturday, good people. Happy, beautiful Saturday. And hooray, we made it through another week. And the devil is trying to be busy, but he's a liar, absolutely a liar, just like our commander-in-chief. Liar, liar, liar. How's everybody today? I hope everybody's having a beautiful day. And as you see, we are working through some technical difficulties here. You know, this internet thing is a beautiful thing for its capacity to broadcast all over the world. However, these streamlines and things that are going on, real sussy, real suspect, you know. And, you know, it's not just...
You're listening to WJBR Internet Radio, Brunch in the Basement with JaVonne and Terez. I know I'm looking frozen here. But can you hear me, Razzie?
Yes, loud and clear, my dear.
Am I looking frozen to you?
Well, you look like you're pausing, but not completely like that. Yeah.
Yeah, we got you know, there seems like it's always a little glitchy something going on with the internet, but you know, that was just a little scary for me because I had to completely shut the whole thing down and come back on. But the good thing is that you're up, because for the longest time it looked like I couldn't get you on. I was like, what the hell? Come on, this is it. And it was the first.
It was actually like double dutch. I liked it. You know?
In and out. Like,
yeah,
oh yeah.
I got my own little conspiracy theories going on in my head with this internet, the phones, because catch it. You know what I discovered?
What's that?
Do you remember that other day when our phones were glitchy and nobody could get calls and nobody could make them and calls were delayed and suspended? That's because they were doing updates on all of our phones to add that coronavirus tracking in there. Did you know that?
Coronavirus tracking? Talk to me about that.
Okay, hold on, I will. One moment, please. I'll be right there. One moment. And this was something that I was prompted to. So I want to go ahead and take a look-see. And it was correct. Okay. Are we ready?
Yes, we're ready.
All right. All right. Here we go. So when everybody was panicking about the phone disruptions earlier this week, they were adding the COVID-19 trackers to our phone. And if you have an Android, and I'll start with them first, save the best for last.
So funny with that.
If you have an Android, go under settings, and then Google settings, and it's there. If you have an iPhone, go to settings, then privacy, then health, and you'll see it's there. Now, normally I go, what, and there's another app that's supposed to be attached with it. And Charlene Smith, yes, it's there. I saw it. Okay. And it's, this track, and, and I understand the idea of wanting to know if you were exposed where and know where the hot spots are in the event you want to travel or you're around them, or just to take extra precautions. However, what I think I'm not clear about, and I think that like when you get these cell phones and things and sign up for stuff, you really have to start busting back these policies, because they were able to add this in our phones and whatever else. Like where does that end? Because you don't want your device by way of being updated, or this was a forced update, quite frankly, if memory serves me correctly. And it was brought to my attention by a friend of mine that said, that passed this along. And they have the capacity to do. We all know they can track us through our cell phones. That's not unique. But because we had to use the towers. And of course, you know how that works. When you make a call, it connects to the closest tower. That's how they're able to solve murders and know where people are. But this idea of having no service because you are now forcing the COVID track on you. When does your HIPAA information come into play with that?
Absolutely.
When does
to me, that just sounds like an invasion of privacy when they're talking about your medical health. And she sips her tea.
Now, granted, I understand the reasons why they may want this information to be known, but I mean, this is a virus, right? Right.
Yes.
And we have had so many other viruses, right, that have killed more than coronavirus, right? We're not forgetting about HIV and AIDS, are we?
No, yeah, we're not tracking people.
So,
or are we? Who knows?
So, that being said, weigh in on it, folks. 347-996-5394. Love to hear what you think about this. 347-996-5394. What you think about this update that no one told you about and everybody's scrambling around and see, and it would have been better if if they announced that this is what they wanted to do and work with the cell phone providers to make sure that but they didn't announce anything in advance of doing this. It was just boom, confusion and done. What's happening with that?
Yeah.
You're
echoing, my dear.
I know.
Hear a little bit of reverb.
Well, you put on the agenda to call in. I just this is that system.
Yes, Linda is on today.
Yes, Linda will be on today. She comes on at noon EST. So she should be on in another, what time is it? About another half an hour or so she'll be coming on. And let me tell you, when Linda, Clifford, and Terez get to the just sit back. That's all I got to say.
I love her. She is so woke.
You two are very entertaining and interesting to listen to together. I'll say that.
She is so woke.
This is the first time. Yeah, she is completely woke. And the last time she was on, we weren't able to see her, so we weren't doing it via video at that time.
Mhm.
Just on the phone, and people could not see me, but I was like this, just listening, um, because very interesting. I kind of soak it all in.
Is she coming on video or audio?
Wait, say it again.
Is she coming
No,
on?
I believe she's coming on video.
Yes.
And
Yes.
let me tell you, Miss Clifford is a beautiful woman. She's absolutely adorable.
Always has been.
Um, P Boogie said, "Damn, it sure is there. Underhanded move."
Yeah, you just got that, huh?
You know, yeah. Leave it to Resi to find these things, man.
No,
This,
actually.
see, this is what I'm talking about. You know,
Well, I didn't find it.
um,
Let me just say that I didn't find it. Someone brought that to my attention, and of course, I try to, fact check stuff. And then when I discovered, I was like, "Holy!" I wonder if and a lot of people didn't know. It's like outrage about it. So outrage. I'm sorry. So, what am I eating? I seem to be enjoying it. You know what? Yes, I'm not gonna tell you the brand because they don't endorse us, but it is seaweed snacks. And I'm looking for. I'm a super foodie, Charlene. So I have to think of healthy alternatives to put in, particularly in the morning. So I just grabbed some of my wife's sorrel tea that she makes in the morning, and I suck on snacks until I'm ready to have meals. Otherwise, I'd be probably putting a chocolate chip cookie somewhere close by, or But she's and shout out to Misty Dawn because she's turned us on to these vegan, gluten-free cookies, and they're so good, and you don't feel like you're missing any of the stuff that hardens your arteries in it. You can't even tell the difference. I like those what do you call those healthy choices that resemble the unhealthy choices because I don't want to miss nothing, right, Jay?
that's what's up. That's true.
I'm waiting for someone to do that with Krispy Kreme.
Yo, I hear you. I do hear you 100%. Let me just see something here. Nope, that don't work either. Gee, I'm trying everything. I'm trying everything. Um, I've been thinking about this and thinking about this, and I know that I have to make healthier choices for myself. However, I will say my grandma's 99 and she will still get down on a pork chop and some fried chicken right now. So, you know,
Listen, at 99 years old,
I just understand. Absolutely. And she could eat whatever she wants, and I don't know. I remember at one point I was trying to help her to eat better because I was in the thralls of trying to eat better. And we were at, I think it was probably my 40th birthday party or something like that. We had this event at this big restaurant or whatever, and people ordered across the, and I think she had something going on at that time. That was about 15 years ago. So, eh, let's see, 100 take away 15 is about what, 85. So she was in her 80s, 84, something like that. And there was a plate of fried chicken wings. And I think she probably had a cholesterol issue or something going on. And I said, Grandma, I don't want you eating this. I don't want you eating that. I'm being real vigilant, like no fatty, greasy, none of that. She looked at me. She picked up that chicken wing. It was a chicken wing drumstick. And she was like, what? I was like, Grandma, it's not. Uh huh. What? You know what I'm saying? And Pop says he's having a morning smoothie with kale, spinach, green apples, sea moss, blackberries, almond milk, avocado, and strawberries. I was
Mm.
gonna make a smoothie this morning. I just didn't get to do it because I was trying to fix this stuff here. Um
That sounds good.
yeah, but a smoothie does sound good, and I probably will have one later on today after the show.
What you think about all these
Um
yellow brick roads we're hearing going up? Speaking of which,
well, I'm glad they're going up. It's another piece of all of the things that are going on right now, and I'm happy about all of it. Not all of it, because unfortunately, there are casualties. There are also people who are jumping on the bandwagon who are not sincere,
ooh,
and that needs to be checked. It's not like, oh, now all of a sudden you Black Lives Matter, but you never cared before. You saying it now because it's the thing to do. Just like, people, there are fads where um and it's so funny that when I think back across my life and from my perspective, um when there is a call to social consciousness, right?
right?
This country takes on the cause because it becomes cool. It speaks to your coolness to be down with it, so to
Trendy,
speak.
trendy. And
Trendy. Yeah, that's
social
exactly the word.
consciousness now trendy too.
Excuse me?
Is social consciousness now trendy too?
I think that when you look at how the the United States and how people have responded. People who let's put it like this. Let's think about those people who have privilege, right? But don't but didn't realize or really acknowledge. You can't really I will not say that everybody who has a thing realizes that they have it until it's thrown in their face and they're like, "Oh yeah." It's just like the experiment of blue eyes versus brown eyes, and
Shout out to
it
mm-hmm.
absolutely it brings a certain awareness to folks. So something like this brings a certain awareness to folks, and then all of a sudden they're Gawa Black Power. It's like, okay, and until a situation arises where it's in their best interest to utilize their privilege again, and then it falls back to the same old thing. If you get what I'm saying,
Well, well,
trendy, just
well,
like being a lesbian was trendy at one point. Being gay was a yeah. People that was stop, Terez. Um, and it just seems like when during the all right, so I remember during my youth wearing dashikis and Black Power and Black is Beautiful. All these white people started wearing afros. Are you serious? It was trendy for them. It was life for us. This is real. This here is real. But I'm talking about is from the other perspective of being down with the cause when you were not down with the cause. When you're really not down with the cause, it's just a good look right now.
all right.
So yeah.
All right.
Because I'm in this.
No. You stay right there because it's important to name some things, But I will say this though, I'm gonna leave the light on for it all, But I just don't want it to be the cake. I'm sorry, the frosting before the cake. Just so that it's not the frosting before the cake, because you can't impress me with a yellow brick road. And shout out to Newark today for we got word that they are painting Halsey Street on MLK and Halsey Street between 11 a.m. and 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today. They're painting Black Lives Matter on the street. Well, that's the frosting before the cake. And I hope that Newark also works to change the systemic issues that are needed and necessary. Okay? Yeah, we you know, like at this point, painting anything or telling us anything about Black lives and the human fact that they matter, we already know that. The question is now, what are you going to do about the systemic racism and oppression that exists within these systems? We need concrete plans. And the word of the day, boys and girls, is accountability. So you're not just going to be able to paint things and think we're going to go away, because we're not. We're not going away. We want to know what the agenda is, and we want to be invited to the table to create the agenda. That's what we want. So for all of everybody's in primaries now, you know, some are July 1st, different primaries around. Hold your people in the immediate area accountable. And the way you do that is before you go offer your precious vote for them, find out what the hell their agendas are about. And then call them, because they're accessible right now. Trust me, they're answering their phones. Either they're answering them or their constituents, because my wife has been on the line with a few of them. So call them up and say, listen, we want to meet with you. I have a collective group of friends, and it could be high school students. You got a group of friends and you guys are ready to vote, and for the first time, and you don't know what's going on. And well, I'm not gonna say you don't know what's going on, because y'all are smart, but you want to organize your thoughts and you want certain things to be known. Call the offices, 10 or more, and demand that they open their door, because you are now their constituents, and don't let them fluff you. This generation, like every generation beyond the next, is smart, and they know when they're being gassed, you know. And I think that you guys need to call them out, you know, ask them to be heard, you know, ask them, can you add things to their agenda, the things that are relative to you and your community? This is how it's got to change from the ground up. And then also nominate some people to run that you know, that you can support, that you want to see there too. Because politics, as we know from our current disaster and thief in the White House. Sorry, that went down kind of rough. Our current disaster and thief. Anybody can do it. It's at this point, it's politics for dummies. So at the end of the day, we have to flip the script. We have to make sure that disproportionately you vote for candidates that have your interest, and you add to their interest. And that's it. It's written. So, come on with the yellow brick roads, because that's just the walkway to me to change. So I'm going to walk that yellow brick road on Halsey, and walk that yellow brick road on MLK, and walk that yellow brick road on DC, in DC, now known as Black Lives Matter Boulevard. See, that's all cute. It's very cute, but it's icing before the cake, and it'll be a roll call for folks that are showing up to be juxtaposed from what their actual backdoor positions have been historically with these yellow brick roads. Mayor of DC.
Well, my opinion of the mayor of DC is still out. I want to see what happens there. That was a pretty bold ass thing to do, to be the first of anything, because what we know is that when you're the first to do something like that, as bold as that looks, with that look, there's a certain level of retribution that comes to you. Like you get you with these people, these are some evil, wicked ass people. And when you're talking about government and politics, to do something that bold, that was pretty bold. That was a bold statement. Now, what do you do to follow up with it is another thing, you know? And also we know that she, has a history that is like, well, you did this and you did that. But now that you've come out so bold, what are you going to do to follow up? How are you going to correct the errors of your way? How are you going to fix what you have legislatively broken?
Contributed to.
You contributed to, you know, so how are you going to fix that? What are you going to do? And to me, being the first to do something like that, it puts you in a spotlight in both a positive way and a negative way. A negative way to the powers that be. And when I say the powers that be, it's temporary power. But yes, those people are wicked AF. I just don't feel like cussing right now. But yeah, they're really wicked, and they conspire, and they slaughter and kill and maim and rape. That's just the nature of who they are.
Okay.
And when you come out that, no, I'm sorry, but you know that, and it shows in just the shit that comes out of their mouths and their whatever. So I wanna see what she does, because going forward.
Yeah, you know, I think that, you know, it's time when people, you know, because there's a lot of screaming, there's a lot of yelling, there's a lot of good stuff going around, and it's all sauce for the goose, you know. But I want to chat about something real quick that's back on the table, right? And do you remember in New York, okay, Buffalo, New York to be exact, about a decade ago, there was this officer by the name of Carriel Horn. And it was a big case out of Buffalo rather, that involved police brutality. When she was an officer at the time, and she intervened when she saw a handcuffed, because she was part of this detail that was called. They kicked this man. I'm gonna give it my version. They were going to apprehend this gentleman, and they got into a scuffle inside the apartment trying to get him out of there. They handcuffed him, got him out to take him out, I guess, to the car. And outside, you know, I mean, because I guess one of the officers was still frustrated. So he then proceeds to put a chokehold on the man who was now in cuffs and not a danger, you know, not a danger. And we see this all the time. We see cuffed suspects, which means you have no hands. How are you then a danger to 3 and 4 officers? Because, you know, at that point, you know, I see a lot of videos, you know, clips, and I see a lot of situations where momentum has built and you're still swinging. If somebody that cannot, you know, cannot react to you in the same way, you can't. Well, you know, they're not a harm to you. They're not a threat at that point.
They're not a threat. They're no longer a threat.
Right.
Yeah.
And
did you see the video that I posted recently where they had this guy cuffed and he just saying, I'm not resisting. They lift him up and throw him to the ground, and all of this because they thought he had a gun, but it was a phone.
Yeah. See,
and then they start literally choking him like this. And he's like, I can't breathe. You know?
Mm-hmm. And then they ask him to calm down. Right.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you brought that back up, because what people don't understand is that just like animals, humans have a natural fight or flight response. It is organic in our DNA that when we think, and if you don't believe me, here's a simple exercise to prove it that you can do at home, because I'm gonna have to break this down real simple. Go in your bathroom, fill up your tub or sink, stick your head in it, and hold your breath underneath there. What's going to happen after a period of time is you are going to dart out of that situation to try to save yourself. It is what the brain automatically does when they sense that you are in danger. That is any situation that you have. It sends serotonin responses and all kinds of things to your body to signal that something may not be right. And we think, oh, I had to catch my breath. But that's a fight or flight. That's the simplest form of fight or flight your body organically responds to. So now let's transfer this to the scenes of many crimes that we've seen, murders that we've seen on the street, where you have somebody handcuffed, pressed onto the ground with all of the stuff that, is looming in the world today in terms of the saturated situations that the media puts out, about things that are happening in our community, mixed in with the own fight or flight of what naturally goes on while you are in danger, because your body, regardless of what's going on, you still are in danger, and your body, quite like animals, same way, same fight or flight that exists naturally is going on. So when you have an officer who doesn't understand that or doesn't care, whichever you choose, and you see someone that's still moving around, but they're handcuffed now, it's with so much they're going to do by moving around. I'm sorry. In fact, you can handcuff them, put them on the ground, and walk away. It's with so much they're going to do with their handcuffs behind their backs. They're not a threat to you. And the fight or flight is there. And at the end of the day, you're still suppressing the fight or flight. You don't understand that that's not an immediate threat against you. That is a survival mechanism that is in all of our DNA. It's what happens when we get scared. Everybody, it's the same fight or flight that the police officers have. Same ones. But they are responding to someone else's fight or flight while they're doing their jobs. And they don't understand that. George Floyd was not a risk. Eric Garner was not a risk. A lot of these folk were not a risk. Certainly somebody certainly firing a gun at somebody that is in front of you, running away from you. I don't care if he turned, smiled, ran backwards. If you were able, and I posted this on my own social media, if you were able to apprehend and humanize a blatant killer who came into a Black church, killed Black parishioners actively after you prayed with them, you murdered them, and they managed to apprehend this killer at that point. Not only did you apprehend him without incident, you also fed him. I can't make this shit up.
So let's just say that killer sat still and waited peacefully for the police, and the police took him down, and he never resisted, and they took him in. Okay, all right, fine, right?
Which killer are you talking about?
Then
which killer are you talking
about? I'm talking about the same killer you talking about. He's that crazy little blonde haired dude, right? Let's just say that
the George Floyd killers.
No. I'm talking about the crazy boy that murdered those 9 people in the church, right? That's who you're talking about, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So let's just say when the police came for him, he put his hands up and willfully went in. Let's just say, right? And they were able to take him in without incident, right? Then, see, that's not necessarily the one that gets me, although it does get me. I'm not going to say it doesn't get me, but when I see video of white folks assaulting police with tasers, pointing guns at them, one guy was beating the police with their own stick. One guy beat up both police officers, stole their car and drove off with the police car. Okay, white man with his pants falling off his white butt. Okay, and this guy they just let him beat. He kicked their asses, and they never drew their guns. They didn't, and that's what. See, I'm offended that they took that boy and got him some goddamn Burger King. I'm offended at that. And he, he walked away fine. Yeah, I'm offended by that. But I think that is an example of how policing should be for all people. You see, people oftentimes, that's an example of when people oftentimes say, when we bring up our concerns and our complaints and our being upset about how police handle Black people, we get this answer: oh, the police need more training. We're going to give them. Yeah, but you don't need more training when it comes to white people. When it came to that boy, now if it was a Black man who had shot up a whole entire church full of white people, he wouldn't have came out of that alive. And they would have been, even if he had not resisted, put his hands up. Yep, I killed him. I did it, but I'm ready to go to jail. I did it, and I want to go to jail. Let's go. They would have killed him, period. It don't matter how he surrendered or whatever. They would have killed that boy, So what I'm trying to say is that policing, when we talk about fight or flight, that's something that's innate. It comes when you're in danger, when you feel like you're in danger. Now, there may be an initial response by these police officers when they see a Black man. They may be initially a little intimidated, because Black is powerful. Black is powerful. You can sense it. You can see it. We some powerful, beautiful people, and that can be intimidating. But as soon as you see there's no threat, there's no longer a fight or flight response from the police. That is, I'm going to show you that I'm more powerful than you, because you're intimidating. And now here's my opportunity to show that I'm more powerful than the powerful.
Well, you know something,
because
Jay? I don't think that there's that much thought that goes in. I think this is just raw, primitive, just primal emotion that and mixed in with something that
it's hate.
Mixed in with and I agree with you. Black is powerful, and I just looked at a comment that I want to respond to, and the comment is, he would have been dead. In answer to what you're saying, JaVonne, they don't care about us. All right.
Yeah.
I want to answer that question. Shout out to Terry Monique, because I need to speak to you, sweetheart, and I want to say this to you, and I hope you are listening and you understand exactly what I'm saying. They do care about us. Let that sit just for a second. They care about us. Just not the way we think. They don't care about, it's a classic situation where they love our culture, but they don't love us. But they care about, and I just want to be real specific, what they care about is our dollars. What they care about is the fact that if we are unified, we're dangerous to them. Do you understand? So that being said, what I invite you and any brilliant mind like you is to shift the perspective just a bit. And by that, I mean, when we think that they don't care, they care about us, and it's time for us to say what they care about. We need to organize, because we've all traced this back to the almighty dollar, right? Like we know that, we do know that one of the reasons why they want to give us these stimulus checks and open up these businesses and get things going again so that American people can get back to normal, or the closest thing to normal. That's the voice I hear it in. I'm sorry, because it's always that P&G voice. That the only reason why they're giving money away is because they know we're going to give it right back, or most of you will. The only reason why they want you out of your houses and opening up things because they need you to spend money. And I've said this before. Have you ever heard the expression, don't count money you don't have in your hand yet? When you're like, saying, okay, well, that goes, I get paid on Wednesday. So I'm going to spend this now because I get paid on Wednesday. That's what you call projecting. Projecting money you don't have in your hand yet for what you need right now. And then when it comes Wednesday, you get your check, you cover that cost, and then whatever you have left over is not from what you immediately spent. It's from stuff that you needed last week that you projected to your Wednesday's paycheck. You following me? You still there? Okay. So our country does the same thing. They note Black and brown people in this country. They project our spending in the trillions of dollars. We stimulate this country's economy, the country, not you. And I know that's a big situation to think about, to grasp, but that's what they do. The government plays themselves. They project our spending for this country's economy. And guess what? We always arrive right there. They're always right. Okay, now moving up. They're always right about it. They're always right about the fact that when corporations throw out sales and things that we're going to line up. Do you think it is a mistake that right after income tax, they have all these sales? You think that's just, what do you think that's for? The same television that you would have paid in, let's say, March of 2020, by the time you get to January of 2021, that television is going to be $5. You paid $400. Why? Because they want you to come back and buy it. That's better than the crack game. It's on the money's on the comeback. Pharmaceutical companies, the money is in the comeback. So I say this to say that it is time for you to start. And I think that what we need to start teaching kids in school, and I mean as young as junior high school, or as young as they can grasp the information. And I want to say, our kids are brilliant. So I'll go elementary. Start teaching them about, instead of being a consumer, being a business. Start teaching them what an LLC is early. While they're doing their ABCs, add in LLCs too. Add in S Corps and C Corps and things like that. Add in things like money pooling. Add in things like how to start your business. Change the game. Add in things like how to invest in each other's business. Those are the centralized messages that we need to give our kids growing up so that we understand the difference between being a consumer and commerce. Because they need us all to be consumers. Everybody. Now, some of us have caught on early and they managed to manifest amazing businesses. But for the most part, they need us to be consumers to project our spending in the trillions for this country. Oh, I said it again. I almost said company, but that's what I meant. The company of USA. Because it is a company. It's a company. There's a president. What that means.
Well, that's a capitalist society.
There you go. There you go.
That's what, and there's no secret about that. It's just a matter of understanding. But you said a lot, and I think we've given a lot to chew on, a lot to think about, as always. Terez says, and she's right, And Tom says it's true for all sectors. Absolutely. I think everybody needs to think about investing in one another. I have some other thoughts, but I'm gonna hold off on them. Wait until Miss Clifford comes on because she'll be on shortly. I did want to mention to those who are listening to please subscribe to the YouTube page. Um, this is where you get the best feed. Also, most of you are aware that we have a show on Wednesday evening.
Yep.
But this week coming, we will also have a show on Tuesday evening. We have Avant coming Tuesday. So set your calendars for Tuesday evening. We'll probably be on from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. And then on Wednesday, for those of you familiar with the Unity Fellowship Church movement, we have the musical director all throughout every state. She's been the musical director. Her name is Dion McLean Freeney. She's also a Broadway musical the ED MD, sorry, medical musical director. Oh boy, I'm tired now. My brain is on overload because I'm all over the place inside my head. But yes, pops, it's Black Music Month, so she's going to talk about how she set up choirs all throughout um, different states to sing in harmony. It's a beautiful thing, and she'll talk about some other things. Also, on Wednesday night we have um, Stanley Bennett Clay, who is, I believe, a four-time NAACP award winner, and an actor, director, writer. And he's also a good friend of the show. So I can't wait. And
Robust.
yeah, I'm gonna hold off on next Saturday's guest on talking about that because I want to be 100% before I mention that one. That's one near and dear to my heart personally, and
Right.
it could be exciting. It will be exciting, even if it's me and Terez talking to you. So since we are now in the zone where Miss Clifford will be coming on shortly, I want to play one of my favorite songs by her. Um, it's actually with her and the late great legendary Curtis Mayfield.
Mm.
The song is called Between You, Baby, and Me. And every time I listen to this song, y'all, it gets me in the mood to listen to some more music.
Well, here we are.
Yep.
It's kind of nice though, like this. A very special treat, you know. When you, baby, me love, I can't believe this feeling. You're so sweet, honey, delicious. Oh, it's true. A lot of talent I give. I can be persuaded truly adore you. Hey. us, just between us. Make all the stars glow from our eyes. All the treasured pleasure, emotions, love's emotions. Nothing to lose but a try. I try you, baby. It's like dancing when romancing with you, love. Oh, baby. We get down, and move all around. Sway, sway, lady. Embrace me. Embrace me. Please embrace me. We two just getting down. Down for the day.
All the time.
You and me, baby, between us.
All right.
Just between us. Make all the stars glow from our eyes. All the treasured pleasure, emotions, love, sweet emotions. There's nothing to lose but to try. Try me, baby. Try me. Between you, baby, and me, love.
Wait a minute.
Between you and me, I can't believe this feeling.
Relax.
I want you to feel it. You're so sweet, sweet, honey, delicious, baby. All our world is true. It's so true. All our world is true. Yes, indeed.
Yes, it is.
Between me and you, little mama. Dancing, romancing. Get down for me, baby, baby. Just embrace me one more time. Sweet embrace. You know I need to, baby. Oh, my Lord. All our world is true. It's true.
Yes.
Hello.
Beautiful, adorable, Miss Linda Clifford. We love you.
Good
Hi.
morning.
Thank you. Wow, this is so much better than just the phone. I don't know why we had been doing it by the phone so long. You're
This is
just,
great. I love
isn't
it.
this great?
Yeah, yeah.
And-
How are you?
We're great.
And the chat is loving
How-
to see you this morning, Miss Clifford.
Aw,
We got people from Canada chiming in and all over the place. They are loving you this
oh,
morning.
that is so sweet. I'm so excited. That's great to hear.
And might I add how amazingly beautiful you are today?
Oh.
You look fantastic.
Thank you. You know, I just rolled out of bed like this.
leave it to a beauty queen to every move a picture, right?
Aw, thank you. Now stop. Stop that. Well, actually, for an old person, that feels pretty good.
Wow. How are you doing? How you doing in all this madness right now going on? And we particularly wanted to hear your voice because you have been amazing with just what your unique perspective is, but first we want to ask how you doing? How you been doing?
I'm doing okay. I think that I'm probably in the same boat with most people. I'm tired. I'm tired of it.
Mm-hmm.
And tired of more than one issue that we're dealing with right now. This whole pandemic that's going on and being on lockdown. Actually, before I came into the office area, I had on some pumps and I'm like, where you going? You ain't going nowhere. You better go in there barefoot and enjoy not having those heels on. And so that is, that's kind of certainly getting to me, like I would imagine it's getting to everybody else. But, there's things that we can do to protect ourselves and protect the people around us. And so I'm trying to do all of those things. And, I do fall into a certain bracket with that, they talking about older people over the age of 60, 50, 60, 70, and I just had a birthday a couple of days ago, yet another one, I'm so blessed to say.
Woo, happy birthday.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Thank you so much. But so I'm trying to stay safe and trying to keep others safe, so that's what we can do. And then this other issue that we've been dealing with for hundreds of years.
Say that.
I'm like, my daughter called me the other day. She said, I'm on my way to March. I said, oh my Lord. And the first thing that hits you when you hear that is fear. Mm. And then, the pride that she's doing that. I'm like, you go, girl. Just stay safe, please. Stay safe. Be careful. And, and she lives in Los Angeles, where the cases are starting to climb again because they've reopened. But, we're all trying to do the best we can and deal with the situation. But I think that this is different from what we've seen in the past. I know that there are a lot of people out there, all ethnicities, who are aware of what's been going on for all these many years. But unfortunately, a lot of people just never spoke up about it. And I think we're seeing now that the cameras are our friends, because people are saying, oh my God, did you see that video? Oh my God, another video. And there's another one. And here's another one. Yeah, this is every day. There's a mother burying her child. That's not right. Sorry.
No.
I can't. And I think with George Floyd, when he called out for his mother, I have a son. A lot of mamas out there. It's like, my son is an archaeologist. They don't care. They don't, he's not, somebody without a job or not doing the right things or what we assume are all the right things. He pays taxes. He goes to work. He does everything. He's a wonderful father, a great husband. I'm so proud of him. He put himself through school. He did all the right things. But if he gets pulled over, my heart would just fumble. And that's the fear that we carry with us every day as Black women, as members of the Black community and people of color. You just don't know when it's going to be your turn. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to just go on and on and on, but these are the things that I'm feeling. Huh?
Please do.
I said, please do.
These are, this is what I'm carrying in my heart right now. And every time I turn on the news and I see all these different people marching, holding up their signs, no justice, no peace. Black lives matter. And for years, we've been taught that they don't, because they keep doing the same thing. And that has to stop. It just has to stop. So anyway, there you go. See ya.
Yeah.
But that's, that's where I'm at.
Yeah.
Not to mention the White House. I don't
Look, we've been discussing that.
Yeah.
And my hope is that everybody goes out and ensures that first things first, he's removed from office. You know, we have a lot of things, a lot of battles to fight politically.
Yeah.
This is the time to make demands and to sit down with officials. But for me, a priority is getting that fool out of office so that we can have hope to change.
If we don't get
You know,
him out of office, and all of his cronies, Mitch McConnell, all those Republicans,
yes.
I'm not going to swear on your show, but
You
they
can
have to
swear. You can
go.
do it, Miss Clifford.
Can I?
You can.
Yeah, let it
We
rip.
do it all the time,
Let it rip.
unfortunately.
Listen, I spent a lot of years on the road with a bunch of guys, so I cuss like a sailor. I just want you to.
As do
But,
we.
you know, all of his cronies, and now I hear this morning that William Barr is trying to get rid of, what is it, the state's attorney in New York?
Yeah.
Because they are worried. You know what's going to happen as soon as he's out of office. Hopefully, you know, with a little luck, they will, you know, be able to prove some of this craziness that has been going on. And I think the other issue too is we have to, once he's out of there, we're going to have to start rebuilding what had been accomplished for the last 25, 50 years. We got to go back and start over again because he destroyed everything.
Sure did.
Yeah.
That man is a destroyer. All the acts and stuff that were put into place to protect the environment, to protect civil rights, to protect the planet.
Exactly.
Our discussions with European leaders and our accomplishments with gone. All gone.
That's what I'm talking about. You're hitting it. You're hitting it. That he has destroyed so much, and it's hard to, it's hard, I think, for us to see all of the accomplishments. I can't hear Linda.
You can't hear? You're speaking.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Oh, okay.
I was
I
just having a sip of my coffee.
Okay.
My coffee.
Okay, your coffee, exactly. So it's hard for us to really see and acknowledge all of the strides that we've taken in the last 25 years because of all of the damage within the last 3 years.
Exactly.
But if you're paying attention, he has been systematically destroying every little step forward that has been taken over the last 25 years. Now, granted, a whole lot more needed to be done, which is proof of that is where we are today in terms of, Black Lives Matter. That's something that we did not come as far with as we could have, should have, right?
I agree.
It's 100% on the agenda right now. But I'm afraid that that we also have to, like you said, look back at the accomplishments over the last 25 years, put those things back in the structure and then build upon them.
Right, exactly. And that's going to be hard if we don't get rid of his cronies in the Senate.
Yeah.
Exactly. It has been the Senate. This is what, Miss Clifford, you are singing my song as always, but that's what you do. You sing my song.
It's like I am looking at, I don't know if you've seen any of these people that are lining up in Oklahoma to go to this rally. Have you?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Because I'm trying not to watch it, but I think I may be, you gotta keep your enemy close, as they say.
Exactly. And that's what, people tell me because I get upset and they're like, don't watch it. Stop watching it. I'm like, I have to watch it because I need to know what they're doing. You have to keep your enemies close. Keep your friends close. Keep your enemies closer. What movie was that? The Godfather?
Yeah.
Truer words were never spoken.
Let me ask you a question, Ms. Clifford. What do you think about all these terms and term limitations, and what do you think about that? What do you think if we had to restructure that whole entire process? And before I tell you what I think about it, I'd love to know what your unique perspective is on what the terms that people serve when they are our elected officials.
Okay. I think that, first of all, there should be term limits, especially on the House and the Senate. I love what the House is doing, but every once in a while, they make me kind of go like this.
Mm-hmm.
And, the Senate, that's a whole different story because I'm through the roof with them. But when you've got someone who cannot stay awake, okay, cannot, you're in a meeting, you're in the middle of laws being passed and everything, and somebody got to poke you to wake you up so you can vote. Come on. It's time for you to go. Too long.
Yeah.
These people, there has to be some sort of term limit set. And then I think you're more than likely to get people who are really interested in doing work for the country and doing work for the people, not just somebody who's in there to see how much they can make. How much can I get? Which is what happened with this whole relief thing. I'd like to know where those billions of dollars went, but they're not telling. Where'd that money go?
Because it went to the rich.
There you go. But they're obligated really to disclose where to exactly who got that money, what corporations. Okay. And they're not doing it. They won't release it. It's like the same thing with his tax returns. Come on. We know he's a liar.
Facts.
Okay. Let's get it all out in the open. And like I was saying earlier, the people that are standing in line in Oklahoma, this is history in the making.
In that voice.
I'm like, what? It's history in the making. You are about to walk into this dome with all these thousands of people without a mask, number one. Okay, I don't need no stinking mask. Okay. Well, what about when you go back home to your mama and take her this disease? And now, of course, things are changing, and that's the problem. They don't know enough about the disease. So at first it was just old people in nursing homes. Then it became 40 and 50. Now it's the millennials. We lost a 9-month-old baby here in Chicago. 9 months old. So basically, this disease doesn't care how old you are.
Nope.
It will take you out. But he's not telling people the truth about that either. But to get back to to get back to what you were asking me about term limits, definitely there should be term limits. And, okay, you got 2 terms, bye-bye.
Right.
Bye-bye. That's enough. We need some young blood in here. Somebody that's progressive, that's going to understand what's happening out in the world, that can relate to real people. Not somebody who's so wealthy that never is out on the street, doesn't know what's going on. Those are the people that are making our laws. We can't, how can we live with that?
Right.
They don't know us.
Right. And you forgot one legislative body. I don't think you forgot in your head, but you didn't mention that Supreme Court.
Yes.
To die off those positions, I think, is a serious tragedy for the country. To have any position where people, the only way that they leave is if
they die.
Come on, that's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
And I don't think that there should. Why do we need lifetime appointees? And as we saw that President Obama didn't get his elected, so his appointment.
Yeah.
So it's
Mitch McConnell blocked it.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, it's like,
By the way, he's paid for slavery by having a black president. Okay, they paid for slavery.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Mitch,
come clown. He's a clown.
Unbelievable.
He's nasty.
Wow. But the reality is, and I'm going to say this, and it may not be the popular opinion, but as I said to somebody else before, we have to stop acting as if we're shocked by any of the stuff that's coming out, because they're showing us exactly who they are. You know, we just need to move them and move accordingly and get them the hell out of here. And what they are most afraid of are people uniting to organize to do that. And they're also afraid of collective economics. So we have to stop funding some of these corporations that are overseeing and investing in these prisons that generate those bodies being snatched up off the street because they need internal workforce.
Privately owned prisons.
There we go.
Okay.
There we go.
But we need to fill these cells up.
There we go. There we go.
So making money. Everything is about the dollar. And obviously there's no compassion. There's nothing, no feeling whatsoever coming from any of these people. They don't care about anything but the greed. That's it. And we can't become that. Mm-hmm. We don't want to become that, but we do have to find a way to remove it. We have to get rid of it.
Right.
Because, you know, we're human beings. We have feelings, we have emotions, we have all of this stuff that nobody's dealing with, nobody's helping with. Mm-hmm. And there are people out there that really need that help. They need emotion, just from what we're dealing with now. Hmm. They need that help. So I don't know. I can't solve the world's problems, but you know, maybe together, you know, like you said, a collective, the right group of people getting together and really discussing this. Because for the life of me, I don't understand those people that are online trying to get. Where do they get their news? Are they hearing everything?
No, I think they're so far removed that it's just, you know, they're isolated to the opinions of their circle, and then they just get in these public platforms and blurt it out. But like some of this is real kitchen table talk that should not ever enter American public, you know? They don't have any friends that look like you or me that are in the real world in real time, you know?
I can't, for the life of me, I can't understand it. How in the world? He doesn't have any friends that look like them. Okay.
Yeah.
you see those people hanging out at the country club.
Right.
He doesn't care about those people.
You know what's interesting? Fox News is now okay. So you know they have this guy on there called Tucker Carlson.
Oh,
this guy.
Yes.
Right. He's a pig, right? And he's always right. We know who he is, right?
Yes.
So someone is now suing Fox News because of the lies that Tucker Carlson has told. I can send y'all all this stuff, right? This is news. So Fox News is now in court arguing that Tucker Carlson doesn't have to tell the truth. He doesn't have to fact check anything. He is giving his opinion.
It's his opinion, not
and
the
people
news.
Are taking and I wish that those people who believe everything from him and Fox News, because they take what he says and they run with it as the truth, but they don't know that Fox News is actually defending his right to lie to them in court.
Right. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I know.
Because they're being sued for
Carlson. It's Hannity. He's another one.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and I watch them just as much, not as much. I'm not going to say that because I would lose my mind, but I do watch Fox News just to see what's going on. And
you're better than me because I can't.
You know, I have to watch it for a few minutes just to see what lie they're telling now. And the problem is they are giving their opinion or making up shit. Mm-hmm. Okay. and putting it out there. And these people are taking it as newsworthy and thinking that this is the news, when in fact, no. And don't get me started on Rush Limbaugh. When he gave him that Medal of Freedom, I almost put my foot through the TV. Okay, I was fuming. This man has said some of the most cruel, vile, horrific things that have ever been spoken.
Ever.
And he gives him the Medal of Freedom?
While a Tuskegee Airman was sitting in the audience and did not give that man a Medal of Freedom, Medal of Honor, or anything.
Of course not.
But gave it
to that piece of garbage.
Exactly.
And that's exactly
it just
what
speaks
he is.
to who he is.
It does. It does.
Speaks to who he is. You know?
It's true to form. True to form. I'm not surprised anything that comes out of his mouth. It's like, oh, really? Okay, you've outdone. I just don't think. The only thing that when I listen, I'm like, wow, you could get worse. Wow.
You went right. Because you think, okay, this is the bottom. He's reached the bottom. And then he does something else and you go, oh my God, wait, he hasn't reached the bottom.
Right. That's exactly what it is. I have to hold that so that I don't lose my marbles about anything the Commander and Thief does.
Yeah.
I have to say that about all of them because it's like just when you think they have hit their lowest low, there's a trap door and they go even lower. So that's the only thing that I'm surprised about or impressed about, I should say. The capacity to be sub-level at this point.
Exactly. I agree totally. It's very sad. It's sad that, to realize that there are people, and there are a lot of them, who follow this man and feel that way themselves.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, that's scary. After a while, it becomes a little frightening to think that,
Yeah.
And I've lost and deleted a lot of friends over this, as I'm sure you have.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because, you think you know someone, you think you know their heart, and then you find out, no.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know me at all, because I'm on the train. I'm getting ready to drink some more of that Kool-Aid. So it's like, whoa, wait a minute. Did you just say what I thought you said? Mm-hmm. How could you, feel that way or say that kind of thing after the struggles and the different things that have gone on just in my life, not to mention, and I am very blessed in many ways, and I'm so grateful for that.
Mm-hmm.
But, there was a time when there was a big struggle. I had my dealings with the KKK. Mm-hmm. They burned my house down.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes.
Wow.
Yeah, but living in Titusville, Florida. So, it was not pretty. And I marched in the 60s. I was out there back in the day trying to, becoming more aware of what was really happening to everyone. Just because it wasn't on my block, didn't mean that it wasn't real and that it wasn't happening. And, I started at that point becoming really aware of what was going on and thinking, wait a second. There's a lot in the world going on that I don't know about. I'm going to have to get out here and check it out. Mm-hmm. So, you learn if you're wise, you do learn a lot of things, and you study. And, after a while, you realize that everybody is smiling in your face is supposed to be your friend is not. Mm-hmm. So, there's some rough lessons out there in life to be learned. And as long as you learn it and move on, you'll be okay. Don't get stuck in a rut, come back doing the same making the same mistakes. You know, just keep going. And that's what we have to do. We have to keep moving forward. We have to continue to be smart, be wise, study everything that we can, and try to understand what people are really saying to you, because, you know, people will say stuff, and then after a while you go, wait a minute, what she said? Huh? That, you know, that's wrong. So you have to try to really understand everything that people are saying. There are, I'll give you a perfect example. I did a show in Chicago 4 years ago. It was called The Night That Never Was. And it was a show basically where they would have together Frank Sinatra, Ella Fitzgerald, Judy Garland, you know, like all the greats from back in the day. I was Ella Fitzgerald.
Nice.
So we all do the show, blah, blah, blah. About a month goes by and I get a phone call and someone says, hey, there was someone who's working on the campaign for Miss who would like the show, would like you guys to come and perform for the inauguration. Now, I'm going to tell you, the money was good. The money was good. I was the only one that didn't go. I did not. I said, wait a minute. No, I can't. It's like, this would be, everything that I've been saying would be a big lie. But I felt that it was important for me to continue to make the stand, that I don't appreciate the stuff that's going on, the stuff that he's saying, the things that are coming out of his speeches, and you know, this whole charade that he's got going. I was not a fan of that. And so everybody else went, and I got to stay home, and I was quite happy about it, actually. I was glad I didn't go. I would never, ever share the gift that I have with someone like that. I just don't feel that that's what I should be doing. You know, I don't know. I just feel like I've been very lucky again and blessed with, you know, being able to perform and see people and do things like that. And it is a gift, and I'm happy to share it. But I want to share it with people who have a good heart. You know, and I just didn't feel that was there. So anyway, that's the deal. I'm gonna drink some more coffee now.
Well, thank you for that. Actually, there's so much to unpack with what you just said, but I will start with your gift has traditionally brought people together and uplifted people through song, you know, which, you know, is invaluable. There's just no, and I know other artists who have been offered that uncomfortability and have taken it, and it has literally upset their careers.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And some have not, you know, and I applaud you, you know, because I think that alignment, and that's what I heard come out of this, who you align yourself with, who you is key, you know, and I'm gonna trickle that all the way back down to politics for young people that watch the show religiously, that chime in and they're in our chat box and it's going over here on this side. And I say that, you know, when it comes down to picking your local elected officials, that you know who you are aligning yourself with, you know, your vote is your power. Who are you aligning yourself up with in their values? And can you contribute to their agenda, you know, as you see fit for your community, you know, and work in groups? That's best, you know, because you're definitely handled differently when one person comes in versus when 10 of you walk in a door, you know.
Yes.
A whole different understanding to someone in politics who is trying to get constituents behind them for whatever they want to do. And Miss Clifford just laid out very eloquently how she walks the walk and talks the talk, but you said something too that hit my heart about being bombed by the KKK out of your home. That is wow. I grew up between New York and Chattanooga, Tennessee, so I am no stranger to the Klan in Tennessee. Scary. I can't even imagine. Particularly because the act is one thing, and being protected by the act, from the act, and assisted from the act is the aftermath and the trauma that you carry with you, because you'll never get that.
God, no, never. You carry it with you always. And I'll just tell you very briefly, the whole reason that they attacked me was because I would not go out with the sheriff of Claxton, Georgia, who was like an imperial wizard or something. And he used to come into where I was performing, and he would bring his buddies, and I had no idea, who they were or what they were involved with. I just knew that I was very uncomfortable around them. And some of the people who worked in the area, told me that, this guy is the imperial wizard, blah, 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 blah. And he just wants to take you out for dinner. And I'm like, no, thank you very much. But I'm going to pass, and that kept coming up. And, and next thing I know, they coming down the street with torches and carrying on. So I was like, And, of course I was panicked because, I grew up in Brooklyn. I'm not used to seeing anything like that. Although, my parents had warned me. My parents were both from the South. My dad from North Carolina, my mom from Virginia. They grew up in that type of atmosphere. And, when I left home to go sing, they were like, okay, you're going, and I was going to Miami at the time. And they're like, well, you're going to the South. No, I'm not. I'm going to Miami.
Right.
And they're like, you're going to the South. You cannot open your mouth like you normally do. You can't speak your mind. You can't do the things that you find normal up here. It's different down there. You have to be here. And I thought, old people, they don't know what they're talking about. Well, let me tell you something. Old people know what they're talking about.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
They have been through it. They know it. They know it when they see it. So, you can't, when you're young, you really think you're invincible and nothing's going to hurt you and you're just going to go. It's not that way. So you always have to be aware. Be aware. But I made it this far.
Yes,
so
you did. And we are
Here
so
we are.
grateful. We are so grateful.
Thank you.
Terez, let's start reading some of the comments because there are a lot, and they are for Miss Clifford, who cannot see them.
No, I can't.
Okay.
Right.
A ton of them.
So Terez,
Really?
start. Yeah.
Sure. I want to give a shout out to someone that I see on the line that I haven't seen before, and one of the beautiful people, Racine Pendavis, who has
Racine,
yes, and says happy belated birthday to you, and praying for the healing of this country, especially now more than ever, and just basically says peace and blessings to all my queens. And I love me some Linda Clifford and her music soundtrack, especially to the LGBTQ community. Greetings from WDC.
Love you, Racine. Mwah, mwah. Love you. Thank you so much.
Tom Killiam.
Hi, Tom.
Yes, Chicago. And he says hello.
How are your puppies? How are the dogs? Tom
He
has
also says that you should be the president of the United States. He would nominate you. He would elect you voters.
I would. That second.
I got to have the right
So would
people
I.
around me.
I'm sure you'd assemble them. I'm sure you'd pick your cabinet like you pick your fruit. I'm sure you would.
I would be very careful. Trust me.
You got one, JaVonne?
Yeah, Walt Taylor from the old school music. Yes.
You know,
he says he loves you in your heart, and he wanted to make sure that we let you know that he's watching.
Oh, thanks. Hi, Walt. God bless.
We got P Boogie, Patricia Porter, and Peggy Miller watching on the line. They say hello. What's up?
Hi, what's happening, ladies?
And Misty.
So when I was playing,
so many of these people that you've mentioned are my Facebook friends. My, we talk every day. I try to talk to everybody every day, and send little posts and messages out because, without them, I wouldn't have my career. I wouldn't have anything. And I want them to know how much I appreciate that. So I do try to keep in touch with everyone.
That's awesome.
Yes. Charlene Smith wanted to wish you a happy belated birthday.
Hey, Charlene.
She says, specifically, she says to our beloved Linda Clifford, and you are beloved. And Tom says you're only 52.
I love Tom.
Clearly, he loves you too because he's all over the street. Absolutely.
And our beloved Auntie Melba Moore chimes in and she says, "Hey, ladies, I see you, my dear friend Linda."
Hey, Miss Melba. That's my girl. I love her. Pardon the phone ringing. Hang on. There we go. Bye-bye. Okay.
Wow.
Yes, and of course, Tom is also mentioning your coffee and your love of coffee. I love your coffee memes. I every day have a new one.
I'll tell you, when I get up in the morning, no matter how awful I might feel, I try desperately to get myself in a good mood with music. I have my coffee. I sit down. I write a couple of notes to people, and just to pick myself up. It's and that makes it great for the rest of the day. So, but the music, before I called into you guys, I was boogieing. I had Shaka on. I was dancing to Shaka. Chuck Mangione. I was all over the place.
Nice. I was just going to ask you, who does somebody as fabulous as you are in terms of your music, personal music, who do you listen to?
Oh my goodness. I'll tell you, there's such a variety. I love music in general. There's almost nothing I won't listen to. I love classical music. I love Andrea Bocelli. I listen to Celine Dion, Shaka, Aretha, Patti LaBelle, Melba Moore. I really listen to a variety of people. I love John Legend. And I just got his new CD with the song Bigger Love.
Yeah.
Yes. So, anything about positivity and love and being there, I'm in for it, and of course there's heartbreak, but that's life. So I like everything.
Yes. We need more Linda Clifford infusion to get us through. We in those times, Miss Clifford. Come on, don't act like you don't know. We're in another. We need. We're calling on the spirit of Marvin, Aretha, Luther. Folks that saturated us with stuff to get us through. Nina and all of them.
Oh my God, Nina. Oh, I loved her. I still love her music. I listen to her stuff all the time too.
Yeah.
And I love that there are people now who are recording her songs, but they literally are recording note for note what she did. And because I study Nina's stuff and so many other people, and I listen very closely to a lot of their stuff, and then I hear somebody else do it, and it's like, that's exactly what Nina did. I mean, literally. So I don't think you're really feeling this yourself. You're just kind of borrowing her feelings to record. But there were a few instances like that. And, it's okay to borrow from the greats. I think it's flattering that someone wants to copy, but like note for note for the whole song, just it gives a whole different impression, I think. But yes, I listen to Nina. I listen to Carmen McRae. Nancy Wilson was my girl. I love Nancy.
Yes.
Guess who I saw today? Oh, bam!
Yes. Oh my God, that song. I love that song.
Yeah.
Yes,
it was you.
Yes.
It was you.
Hey,
I saw you.
I saw you.
Exactly.
I love that song. I love that song.
Every
It's so
time
hard
she sang it live or whatever, every time she sang it, it was just she was one that was able to interpret her own song so many different ways live. That music. Oh.
I totally agree. She really, I mean, it was like hearing a new song each time she did it.
Yeah.
It really, really great.
Yeah.
Auntie Melba Moore says, "Happy 27th birthday, Linda. You're fabulous early in the morning."
Yes.
Thank you, Miss Melba.
You're getting younger as the stream goes. You're getting younger and younger this day.
Yes.
I know. I like that.
And I want
if my body would feel that way, it would be great. This arthritis.
Oh yeah.
We got one of my personal faves, Patrick L. Riley, and he is so many things and wonderful in this life. But I also want to add that he's also an author of a book that he's done, Women Who Have Inspired Him, and he writes, "Love Linda Clifford, so inspiring, and would be in the book if he had a pick. I must get a picture and get her on All Star Karaoke." And he has an amazing book out where he gives homage to women that inspired him, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be further editions of that, but he just said that, you would have been in his book and absolutely. So he just gives you a shout out this morning and he says he loves you.
Oh, that's great. Hi, Patrick.
What you doing over there, Jane? Command Central.
Well, I'm sorry about that. We have a caller on the line, 7638. Please turn down whatever volume you have.
You got to turn the radio down.
Yeah, your whatever you're listening on, you have to turn that down in order to speak.
Yes, please. Otherwise, we get the echo.
Hi, what's your name and where you calling from?
So.
Who? Hello?
Uh-oh.
Hi, what's your name and where you calling from? Might want to turn it up a little bit.
I don't know if you're talking to me, but this is Walt Taylor. I just wanted to send some love. And I don't know if you're hearing what I'm saying right now, but please let Clifford know that I just love her so much, but I definitely love her heart. When you love people the way I see Linda does, I love people. I love JaVonne Terez so much. And Linda being in the group, and aside from everything, your soul is what blesses me. And I thank God for you.
That was Walt Taylor.
Yes.
Yes. That was Walt Taylor and a lot of echo.
Yes, I heard.
And I apologize for that. We got to get that technological piece together. But I think you heard the message, right?
I did, and very beautiful. Thank you, Walt.
Yeah. Wonderful. It's sometimes difficult when people are listening and
Yes,
watching from their cell phones because they're doing
Yes,
the same thing on the same device, so it comes through that way. Yeah,
right.
yeah. Miss Clifford,
exactly. It's a beautiful.
you think we should hit Miss Clifford with some rapid fire, Jay?
Oh Lord.
Oh, absolutely. But with Miss Clifford, we can't play the game word, Rez. We have to give her like 20
Okay.
because
What are we doing?
she's she's not like our other guests. I mean, Miss Clifford is a personal friend to this show. She's been on like 5,000. We'll have her 5,000 more because she always the new, special, and unique. And but before we do that, I just quickly about the music, Miss
Okay.
Clifford, because I'm sure some of the people who have tuned in today tuned in because they want to know how you're doing musically. Like, are anything you're working on? Still working with the First Lady Disco? What's going on musically?
Well, yes, I'm still working with the First Ladies of Disco. Unfortunately, because of what's going on right now, we're kind of in a forced retirement period,
Okay.
like the rest of the world. But we had so many things scheduled. We were going to be in Sweden and Germany and all over the world. We had tons of concert dates, and I had tons of dates on my own schedule, which all got canceled. I think right now I have one date on my book for December that we're hoping might happen.
Okay.
And I think it's in New York, actually.
Ooh.
So I will keep you posted and let you know if that happens. But again, it's all going to depend on how we come through this, crazy virus thing.
Right.
Because that virus don't care about us. It's like I'm coming at you.
Yeah.
So we just have to again, we got to do the thing that's smartest for all of us.
Right.
So I'll let you know about that. I've had recently a couple of offers. People have approached me about going into the studio and recording some new stuff. So that is a possibility that might be happening too.
Okay.
Which I'm very interested in doing.
Good.
So yeah, I am trying to keep busy. And of course, music is always in the forefront for me. That's always my main thing. And I'm missing my grandchildren and my children. 27 is young to have grandchildren, but stuff happens. So yeah, I'm missing them quite a bit, but they live. The grandchildren are in South Carolina.
Okay.
And I'm worried because I think as of last week, their cases were going up too. It's like way down and then right back up again. So I don't know. I wish they would just get in a car and come here and stay with me. But yeah, so I'm keeping busy. I'm baking things. My granddaughter and I baked. We did a FaceTime thing, and we baked cupcakes together last week.
Oh, nice.
So that was lots of fun. And every once in a while, I will post whatever I'm making for dinner for Nick and I. I'm tired of my own cooking at this point. I've been making dinner for 42 years. It's like, come on. And usually, we'll get up on a Sunday morning and we'll go out for breakfast or brunch. And, that's our time together. And sometime during the week, we'll go out for dinner. But now it's like every meal you're preparing constantly. And, that's got me kind of crazy. But I do post a few, as I find new menus and new ideas, I will post them and let people know what's going on. So that's my life.
And Auntie Melba Moore just chimed in again and said this virus is disrespectful. The money is in doing recordings for now.
That's right.
She said she just recorded 2 new songs, and I'm hoping we can have them. I'll just add that. And she didn't say that.
Yes, please.
Yes,
thank you.
And they paid well.
All right.
Right now.
There we go. And we got to get those songs. We got to get those.
That's how we got to make our money right now. Get in the studio.
Absolutely. I dig it.
You can certainly social distance in studios. That's for sure.
Yes, for sure. You can.
Yay. So yay, we're happy. We're happy. We got that part done. So we're happy. We got new music coming from Linda Clifford and a couple of other offers. And I'm hoping some acting stuff comes up because
that would be wonderful. I'd love that.
Yeah.
The sitcoms and stuff that, I think a lot of the production companies are starting to come back. Because a lot of shows and films had to quit production because of the virus. And so some of them are coming back. So we missed a lot of end of season shows that were supposed to be out there. And my understanding is they're coming back now. So I'm available.
There you go. There you go. Anybody got some scripts that need a fiery, well-spoken person that just can come in beautiful to the eye? Miss Clifford is available. She's available.
I'd love that.
And before we tell people how to find you, because if they're out there nodding their heads, we want them to know how they can find you on all your social media platforms before we get into this rapid fire game.
Okay. Well, certainly on my Facebook page. They can find me on Facebook. I'm all over the place. And my website, if they are interested, certainly in photos and CDs, T-shirts, all that Linda Clifford stuff, it's available. And it's not selling. The CDs are not selling for $900 a piece. Did you happen to see that on Amazon?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Yes, I did.
What?
Yeah. They're selling my CDs for $900. I'm like, y'all need to go to my website because I'm not going to charge you $900. Maybe $4. No, I'm kidding. But I just think that, those are collectors, people who are, have been saving the stuff. It's unwrapped and the whole bit. So I thought that was pretty funny. But my website is www.LindaClifford.com.
Linda
Clifford, right. I had a tussle with a lady in was she in Ireland? Her name was Linda Clifford, and she owned that name and the website. And so for years we were going back and forth, trying to figure out a way I could get my name back. And so she finally retired Linda, and now we're friends on Facebook. So it's like,
awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So I had to put the in front of it to keep the website, but that's done. So, and then of course, what's the other one? I almost said Pinterest, but no.
Instagram.
Yes.
On Instagram.
Instagram, Disco Chick, that's me.
Disco Chick, yes.
Disco Chick, yes, you can find me there.
Yes.
So there are many ways to get in touch.
We got to figure out a way to get Patrick Riley a great photograph of you or something digital that he can use because he's amazing and he always has amazing stuff going on. And if he says he wants to honor you, Patrick Riley does it in a way that nobody else I know can.
Oh, so, fabulous.
For sure. We got to keep in contact there because he's got some good stuff. In fact, I think what I'll do is I'll post his book on our website so that you can see, what he does and have a little blurb. And actually, JaVonne, it wouldn't be a bad idea to get him on the show. He's a good time. He is a real good time. So.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So, Miss Clifford.
Yeah.
But before we go for it, one last thing, Rez. I just want to say that when I saw the 900, that your music was going for $900 a pop, I thought that was just the greatest compliment that people could pay to how valuable they find your music. That's legendary by itself. So I just wanted to chime in with that because I was completely impressed with that. I loved it.
was kind of
loved
excited about it myself. I thought, wow, this is amazing. But then I felt bad for people who didn't know that they could get it like a normal price. And
right.
You know what I mean? I was like,
yeah, absolutely.
But that's pretty awesome.
Did you sign it or something? Do you know?
No, it was not signed, not opened, just the original CD. As far as I know.
Imagine if you sold signed copies of vinyl or CDs or cassette tapes, even for that matter.
I do have those things available on my website.
Okay.
And I do sign.
Maybe you should raise the price right now. I'm just saying.
So now after I get done talking to y'all, I'm gonna go change the price. No. But yeah, I do have those things available. So if folks want to go to the website and check it out and see what's there, that'd be great. Absolutely. In fact, I've recently, in the last week, I've gotten quite a few orders. People are ordering things, that were at our last concert venue for First Ladies of Disco was Las Vegas. We were at the Orleans. And there were quite a few wonderful, wonderful people that came to the show. And we've become friends on Facebook and all the other media that you can think of, and they're just darling. And so now they're ordering all my stuff. If they didn't buy it at the concert, they're ordering it online. So it's really great.
Nice.
Yeah. Cool. Very nice.
Nice. So
all right, Rezzy, I'm ready now.
Okay. So Ms. Clifford, we have what we do is a word association game.
Oh God, I'm so scared. You don't know what goes on in here. Listen. Okay, go ahead.
And see what happens is, and that's it. Because and this is going to be super fun with you because it's generally a peek behind the veil. So we'll say one word and you say the first word that comes to mind. Now you're pretty outspoken, so you don't have well, I'm sure there's some things you classically reserve, but that you don't mind talking to people and connecting in a real way. So how it works is we call it rapid fire, but it's word association. So I'll say a word, then you say the first thing that comes to mind, and I'll do what you want to do. What, 10 words, Jay? 10 apiece or 5 apiece? How did you want to do it?
Do 5, I'll do 5, then you do 5, and then I'll do 5. Let's do it like that.
Okay, all right. So it's the first thing that comes to mind.
I'm going to jail. I know I'm going.
No, you're not. No, you're not. We won't let it happen.
I'm going to jail after this show. Okay, I'm kidding. Go ahead.
All right. So me first. You ready? Let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready.
Okay. Politics.
Junk.
President.
Obama.
Community.
Home.
Health.
Everything.
Family.
Everything.
You're up next, JaVonne. Thank you for that.
Music.
All of it.
Elvis.
Peanut butter.
Dancing.
Oh, strut.
Personality.
I don't have anything that came to mind for that. Say it again.
Personality.
Laughter.
Money.
Helpful.
Thank you for that. Terez, you're on.
Oh, there's more?
Just 5 more. You're almost there.
I'm definitely going to jail. I know it. Go ahead.
Now I'm now going to go in a little bit.
Uh-oh.
Prison system.
Bought and paid for.
Disco.
Dance music.
1965.
Pressure. Pressure.
2020.
Painful.
Black.
Multi.
Wow. Okay.
You're up, JaVonne.
My turn. These are your last 5. And just so that you know, Walt Taylor says he has bail for you.
Oh, I love him. Thank you.
All right, you ready? These are the last 5.
Okay.
Motherhood.
Everything. Joy.
Orange.
Trump.
Babies.
I'm sorry, what?
Babies.
Happiness.
Sexy.
Everybody.
Future.
Right.
Thank you so very much. You know what? You are amazing.
Thank you, guys. Oh my gosh, I had so much fun with you.
Now, one last thing before you leave, we need a drop from you because we don't have one visual.
Okay.
So if you could just say, hi, this is Linda Clifford, and you're listening to Brunch in the Basement with JaVonne and Terez.
Okay. Let me know when you're ready.
Ready.
Hi, this is Linda Clifford, and you're listening to Brunch in the Basement with JaVonne and Terez.
Thank you so much for that.
Oh my
Everybody,
God. I
Linda
love you.
Clifford.
You're so awesome.
We love you more.
You are.
We love you more.
No, I'm coming back.
Yes, please.
I'm coming back.
Our station, your station.
Absolutely.
Good.
And thank you also for that. Just, for always being available to us and, just for being self and lovely and just open with us. You trust us, we trust you. It's a beautiful relationship.
It is a great relationship.
I want to come
and it's nice to feel comfortable enough to talk to you. And I do feel very comfortable. So, anytime you need me, you want me, call me.
And please make sure we know about that New York show because I want to be there. If it's
definitely.
For sure.
Oh yeah,
I will.
We're gonna be there.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Love you guys.
Love you back.
We love you too.
Okay. Have a good day.
Linda Clifford, everybody.
You too.
Living legend.
Miss Linda Clifford, y'all.
Hey, baby, where you going? No, wait a minute. You can't leave now.
Here we go with that internet stuff. We're gonna crank it up again, though. We're going out to this song.
Okay.
The devil is a liar.
It done kicked me out of something. I don't know. Can you still even hear me?
I can hear you. Well, we gonna play the song. We're playing. Here we go.
There it is. It's back. What you eating, Terez? Oh.
Hey, baby, where you going? Now, wait a minute. You can't leave now. Again. Now, we've been through this before. And I'm tired. I'm tired. Sick and tired of the same old thing over and over. Playing with my feelings. You keep messing around, playing with my heart. I find the things that you say they don't have no meaning, and that is why I know we gonna have to you don't mean it.
And there we go.
Stop playing with my love if you don't care. Don't go around making jokes about how you're using me. Cause I ain't got no heartaches to spare.
Devil is still a liar.
All right.
Don't come around holding me and kissing me, talking all that jive and getting my feelings on. Then leaving me and running off to someone else's arms, breaking up my heart and soul and leaving me stuck with all my tears, heartaches and emotions. I'm all love with love and devotion. So stop messing with my heart if you don't mean it, and stop messing with my love if you don't care. Don't come here talking about love and know that you are using me, 'cause I ain't got no heartaches to spare. Just running in and out of my life. Ain't gonna run to this time, baby. You can go if you want to. You can go, you can go. Don't come back next time.
Who's got heartaches there? Nobody.
Do your thing now.
Love you. Bye, guys.
Bye, Linda. Bye, Miss Clifford. She is so amazing. You know what I think may help is when you're playing music and we put our speakers on our thing on mute, because that way, because they override when we speak. So when we speak, it will slow the music and it picks up the audio.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
What did you say just now?
I'll talk to you offline.
I was still hearing music. But so you weren't able to hear the music thing.
Well, I'll talk. I'll call you.
Okay, baby. Everybody, good night, good day. Look, Tuesday, make sure, first of all, make sure that you subscribe to YouTube. Tuesday, we're going to have Avant. So definitely check us out. Stay tuned. Stay woke. We love you.
Stay
Peace.
safe.